Can I make $5,000 or more selling puts in the next 20 minutes of this video? This step-by-step guide will help you more than any other video, and I'm going to be showing you proof with my live trades. Let's not waste any time and jump into it. So right now, the first trade that I want to make is going to be Chipotle CMG. Chipotle just had earnings, and something that I want to do is I want to capitalize by selling a put option on Chipotle for good entry. So I'm going to pull up Chipotle on the chart. I'm going to show you what has just happened. So Chipotle recently had earnings. The stock popped down from 60 down to 56. I'm very bullish. It's now below the bottom of the Bollinger Band here. So the Bollinger Band right here is around 56. So I'm going to sell several contracts of Chipotle right now as the market just opened up, okay? So I'm going to go to trade CMG options. I'm going to go sell put, and I'm going to pick an expiration date that's about 30 days out. I'm going to pick November 29th. I'm gonna capitalize right as these earnings have hit, and I'm going to go for a 30-day option. I'm looking to aggressively acquire shares, and right here you will see that the 55 put option right here is going for $1.20. This is essentially a 2% return in 1 month, which is a little bit low, okay? So instead of that, and the volume is 0, I'm actually going to go for a little bit up, and I'm going to go for an at the money put at 56. Now this return is closer to that 3% mark. I would say 3% in 29 days, under a month, is pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and go to continue. Now I'm probably going to be selling, let's say I'm gonna go for 8 contracts here. So 8 contracts will collect $1,319, which I think is really good. I'm gonna go for a price here of 1.75, and let's see if I will get executed on this trade right here. So I've just submitted, and I want to sell 8 contracts, and my goal is to collect around $1,400. Right now I'm not getting filled. The reason why I'm not getting filled is the limit price is 1.75, but the bid ask is 1.55 and 1.75. So I'm going to have to replace this order right now, and I'm going to have to open up a new contract. I'm going to open it up at 1.6. I'm going to go closer to the bid because I'm in a rush. I want to make this video as efficient as possible because I respect your time. All right, so we just collected $1,279.76. I'm going to put that on the bottom of the screen, and we have sold 8 contracts here. Now, just to be frank and to be fair, the cash is in my account. I've already made this money, but I may get assigned, but I'm not worried at all. When I sell puts, I want to get assigned. So I have just made that amount of money here on the screen right now. So let's go into the next trade that I have. Next trade that I want to make, actually I have 2 more trades. I have actually several really important trades I want to make right now. So let's actually go for American Airlines. This has been my most consistent play for a very long time. American Airlines collects a lot of money, and you don't have to have a big portfolio. It's also down right now. I love to see red. American Airlines is down. The first 30 minutes of trading, guys, can be a lot more volatile. Option premiums are actually slightly elevated in the first 30 minutes of the morning. So it is 9:30 a.m. Eastern. So I'm going to be looking to sell some put options here. I do have different positions on American Airlines as is, but I'm going to make a small account trade, and I'm going to click Trade American Airlines Options. Again, I'm going to go to Sell Put. Let me show you what the chart looks like on American Airlines. So if I go to American Airlines here on the chart, I'm going to go back here. I'm going to go to the expiration date of, you know what? I can go for December 20. Nothing wrong with going for expiration days, guys, that are 30 days out, 60 days out, or 90 days out. I like doing less. I believe in safe, passive, consistent income. That's what my channel is about. I love running the wheel strategy, and specifically selling puts gets going on that wheel strategy. So I'm gonna go sell put December 20th expiration. Nothing wrong with that. As long as the return is good, I am happy personally. So American Airlines, gonna go to chart, and right now I want to show you what the chart looks like. We're getting a big bullish move on American Airlines, right? This stock is climbing, but you know, if it pulls back, it might pull back around this 12.78. Honestly, I think if it pulls back, it'll go to $13, but I'll be excited to get into this stock because the trend is pretty clear, and I want to get entry into this stock right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sell a put option at the 13 strike going out 15 days. Now you will notice that the return here is very good. It's about $49 of a return, and I'm only putting up about $12.51. This is roughly a 4% return, which I'm frankly pretty happy with. To be clear, this is not a crazy return, but to be honest, this is a good return for a optimal entry into the stock to acquire shares at a cheaper price. So, when you're selling puts, you're looking to acquire the stock. Guys, please do not sell puts on stocks that you don't like, okay? I'm always doing it on stocks I do like. So look, I think that I can easily go for 15 contracts right here. I'm actually gonna go for 0.5, see if I can get filled for $50. And I did just get filled for 14 contracts. Still waiting for that last contract. There we go. So I got 15 contracts filled. Let's add $749.55 right now to the amount of money that I made on 15 contracts here. And this is not a lot of money, right? I've used a fairly small position there to collect income. So the next thing that I want to do is I'm going to go to Nvidia. On Nvidia, I've been bullish, and I've said many times that Nvidia, because of AI, because of the leadership, the CEO, the management, I'm very bullish, and I see a big upside to Nvidia. I think this is going to be an $800 stock in the next couple of few years. It'll take a few years obviously to get to 800. It'll be one of the biggest companies in my opinion. So I would say that I'm always looking to acquire shares of Nvidia. I'd be more than happy to own this stock anywhere at 130. Let's actually take a look at Nvidia's chart on Yahoo Finance, and let's take a look at the Bollinger Band. So the Bollinger Band is something that I take a look at very closely. Specifically, the Bollinger Band tells me where a good entry could be. You can actually see right here that if I zoom into the Bollinger Band, the moving average is 131, and the bottom of the Bollinger Band is about 127. All right, so here's a unique strategy that I'm going to use to sell this put option. I'm going to go to trade Nvidia options, and I'm specifically looking to really take advantage of that bottom of the Bollinger Band 127. Now look, that doesn't mean I'm gonna go sell a put at 127. I'm actually gonna go a little bit more aggressive than that because I wanna get aggressive ownership of Nvidia. I wanna get assigned. I'd be happy to buy the stock. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go for a shorter term expiration. It's actually very short term. To be honest, I like longer term expirations just because I am looking to do less work and I want to stick to that more passive approach. So you could go short term. You get paid in proportion to the time of the option. So a lot of my students like weekly income. I think a lot more of my students like monthly income. It just depends. Typically, when I have a student join my Discord, we're a lot more active. We're learning quickly. We're making fast money. And then, we go from making that fast money to quick money. And we just kind of mellow out over a period of time. We just get, $10,000 or more dollars per month and just kind of keeping it chill. So look, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for a, let's see, the 130 here has 355 volume, 22,000 open interest. That's a lot of open interest, guys. This is very important, by the way. When you're looking at selling a put option, you want to make sure that there is healthy volume, because when there's liquidity, that makes it easier to get in, get out of this trade. And the bid ask here is very tight. That's beautiful. The bid is 8.05. The ask is 8.15. I mean, that's really tight. That means you're going to get a fantastic price on trading this option right here. Now, this option is going for $815. Like I said, I want ownership, so I can go for something even closer to that 40 delta mark. Typically, my sweet spot is 30 delta, but if I really want aggressive ownership of a company, I may go for a higher delta. So 40 delta here actually meets what I'm looking for personally right now. So I'm going to go ahead and sell a put option on Nvidia. I'm going to click continue, and this is a sizable chunk of money because at 132 strike, it does tie up $13,000 per contract. So if I were to do 5 contracts here, this would be sizable enough for me. This would be a $65,000 bet. I'm going to go for 8.95. Let's go for 8.9 just so I can get filled here a little quicker. And I'm going to submit this. So right now I've submitted this trade. Wow, I did just get filled on 5 contracts. So the collateral is going to be roughly $66,000. So if you take 132 and you multiply by 5, that's essentially, it is $66,000. However, I've collected let's add right now, $4,449.85 to the total amount of premium that I've collected so far in this video. I think we're well into the over 5K mark now, and I'm trying to keep the video under 20 minutes. So we're over the 5K mark, so we have succeeded. I want to see how far we can go here in the next 10 minutes or whatever. So look, I think it's really important because the $66,000 worth of collateral here is not $66,000, because the premium that I collected, which is the $4,400, it will subtract from the collateral. So this is going to be a little bit cheaper. Then again, it is capital intensive to sell puts, and you need to have the capital, because if I get assigned, which I want to get assigned on Nvidia, then I'm going to have the cash to actually buy the shares. All right. So the next stock that I want to go into, all right, so we've done American Airlines, Chipotle. I also want to look at another small account trade. I want to look at Sofi. I think Sofi is a really good company overall. It has kind of gone up in price, but right now the momentum is strong. So So I do have some $10 puts that I've already sold, but you will notice here that these 10 puts are expiring very soon. So I want to replace them, okay? What I do is when I sell options, I wait closer to expiration as they're expiring, I will typically replace that position or open up a very similar position so I can continue making money with the idea that I have, right? I want to keep capitalizing on my idea. So what I'm going to do right now, SoFi is at 10. I'm also going to sell a $10 put, and this thing is dropping pretty quickly actually. I'm gonna put up SoFi on a chart. All right, so let me go to charting here and I'll show you that. Let's actually go to a shorter term chart. Okay, here we had a pretty sizable bounce from the 1047 level. We had a double peak at 1122. I think we're going to be going sideways here. Let me go to the Bollinger Band. Let me actually decrease the period to 10 days to make it a little bit tighter. So yes, actually I am getting that confirmation. And that's kind of what I wanted to do, was in the next 2 weeks or so, do a SoFi trade, which will be at around the $10 strike. So I'm actually getting perfect confirmation that in the next 10 trading days, which is 2 weeks, $10 strike would be very safe. All right, so I want to take a sell put order. I'm going to go a little bit shorter term. I'm going to go for the November 15 expiration. If you're watching this in the future, just use the same logic thought process to collect a bunch of premium in your portfolio. And this stuff really adds up, guys. You can easily make $5,000, $10,000 just by selling put options every single month. So what I'm going to do is, you can see here that in 2 weeks, I'm essentially getting a $16 premium here, which is like around a 1.6% return, okay? It's not super high, but then again, this sell put strategy is very safe. It's for consistent income. It's for optimal entry. The bread and butter of income isn't necessarily made from selling puts, although it is sizable. You get a little bit more from when you actually get assigned, and if the stock recovers, you can make even more money, right? So you are looking for the stock to go down. The ideal scenario is if the stock falls down, you get assigned, and then the next week, once you're assigned, it just goes back up, right? I had that happen to me so many times, and that's why I'm never worried about managing this strategy. I don't need to manage this strategy because I'm doing it on stocks that I personally done technical analysis on and I'm happy to own. So I'm going to go ahead and execute this in even a small position. Let's go 15 contracts here. 15 contracts essentially would be a maximum, by the way, this maximum loss is fake. Don't take this at face value, because the max loss is basically if the stock went down to zero, yeah, I would lose $14,745. But obviously when you sell puts on these companies, none of them are going to zero, right? Pretty hard for a company to even fall 20%, yet alone 10%, unless we have a bear market or a crash. So this max loss isn't something to really pay attention to. What I am paying attention to is that on this position, I'm collecting $255. I am tying up $14,000-ish in collateral, but my actual risk is not really that, okay? So here I'm going to collect $255. So this is actually a pretty big return. We have over 2.5% thereabouts here, which is a pretty good return. I'm going to go for the $18 here. I'm going to review this trade and submit it. And now we will see. Okay, perfect. I got filled for 15 contracts on SoFi. I sold a $10 put. Now look, if you're watching this in the future, I would actually still sell $10 puts for December and for January expiration. Actually, I can show you what that looks like right now. But real quick, we're going to add the money that I've made. We're going to add $269.55 more cents to the total money that I've made trading during this video so far, okay? Again, I do need these options to go to expiration, but the cash is in my account. So I count this money as good as mine. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is I'll show you that you can do different expirations on the same stock. So I can go to December 20 right now. I can still go for a $10 put right here, and I can just open up, let's say I'm gonna open up just 2 contracts because I have enough SoFi, I don't wanna over leverage into it. If I go to $44 and I go for the bid, right? The bid is much easier to get filled. You could play around with the bid ask price, but I try to go for the bid because I want efficiency in this video as fast as possible. I'm just trying to collect money and show you guys that this is really possible for anyone. This is what I do live in my Discord community 2 times a week. Check out the first link in the description if you want to be part of my community and get my one-on-one coaching, where I will show you how to do this and optimize this for yourself. Look, I got filled 2 contracts. We're going to add $87.94 to overall how much I've made. So I think I'm probably around $7,000 or so in collected premium so far. And this is a very small position. The collateral here is less than $2,000. So real quick, I want to make one more trade on a sell put, okay? Actually, I already know what it's going to be. Oh, I'm super, super excited, right? So Robinhood, actually the platform I'm using, just reported earnings. And look, I love selling puts post earnings because I'm not afraid to sell puts into earnings either. The implied volatility is high, but after earnings, to be clear, what specifically happens is there's IV IV crush, okay? IV crush means that there's a whole lot of anticipation leading up into earnings. After earnings happens, there's obviously a big move in the stock. Looks like Robinhood's having a really negative move right now. It's continuing to have a negative move in the early hours here in the first 30 minutes of trading. So, you know, the IV crush has already happened for the most part. IV is still kind of crushing since the volatility, since the stock is still going down. But I'm not afraid to trade puts before or after earnings, but it is a different mindset, okay? Before earnings, right, what you need to be aware of is that you may have a big move. After earnings, you already had the big move, but it's probably a continuation of that move. So right now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sell a put option on Robinhood. It looks like some of the price targets here have been lower. It also looks like their earnings came out and they've actually had earnings of 0.17 per share. Now for me, I've been following Robinhood for a very long time, so this reaction of the stock falling down has erased quite a lot of money from its market cap, like quite a lot. Like a fall of 13% from the market cap of, right, it's basically lost over about $3 billion or so, give or take. So I'm gonna go to trade Robinhood options or Hood options. I'm gonna go to sell put. Now I can go short term. This is crazy. In one day, okay, this option expires tomorrow. In one day, you can collect over 1% return right here, okay? This also is about 1% return and it's $1 lower. This is an interesting trade, okay? I personally don't like to do this type of really short-term trade, so I'm gonna go for still a short-term trade, but I'm gonna go 15 days out, and you can see here how the returns are still bonkers. They're like, wow, this is over 3% in 2 weeks. That's over 6% in a month. That's 100% return annualized per year, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm probably gonna go for the 22.5. The bid ask here is actually not good. This is not a good bid ask. 57.82 means there's a lot of slippage cost. Not good. Let me go for 22. Okay, that's better, right? So the 22.5 strike price is just a little bit of a weird strike price, and it didn't have that much volume. 30 volume, whereas this has 165 volume. So this would be a better option to trade. And I'm gonna get about 2.5, 3-ish% return. I'm just gonna go for 10 contracts here, nothing too crazy. I'm gonna go for 0.55, okay? So I could go for 0.56. Again, I want this video to be super efficient. There we go, I just sold 10 contracts and we're gonna add $549.70 to my overall return here for this video. Guys, every Monday and Wednesday I'm selling puts. If you wanna be on those live calls, check out the description. And if you wanna watch another video of me selling options live, you can check out this video right here on the screen right now.